iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome race fans out to Daytona International Speedway for the running of the GAC Truck Series Daytona 85 laps here tonight. Got a pretty decent sized field with 15. Had a little bit of a hiccup to begin the broadcast here tonight. We were dropping frames, so we switched servers and we're not dropping any frames now. And the admins informed me as we were getting ready to restart the broadcast that they had a little bit of a hiccup on the server side as well. So they had to set up a new server. We're in here. They're in qualifying. And right now, Shane Gross has our pole. And as soon as they finish up qualifying here, we'll take a look at those times. Paul Zoda's running in second right now. Stephen Bird in third. So we're going to see some great racing out here tonight from these guys. And should see a lot of green flag racing from them as well. As John Estes will take over the pole for the moment. And it looks like most people are still on their first laps. There's a pretty good distance around this track, so that beginning warm-up lap can take some time to get around. And we're starting to get some second times coming in. Jim Locking, Michael Palmer, Jim Locking now taken over by Dwayne LaPrade, who's taken over by Dean Vining. So now we have Dean Vining, Dwayne LaPrade, and Jim Locking, with Michael Palmer and Randy Prude rounding out your top five. We still have roughly 5 cars that have yet to take their second laps or taken any laps. We have the number 4 truck of Timothy Keller, who has yet to go on the track. As we're seeing some of these final trucks round out their last laps, we got Mark McFadden, John Stanley, and Kevin Emilius still out on the track, rounding out their qualifying. And from the looks of qualifying, I'm not sure if Timothy Keller is on the track right now. If he is, he elected not to take a qualifying lap and started the back-to-back. And while we're waiting to go to grid, let's run through the points really quick. In first place and our winner last week was Lynn McNeese. Rob Whitmore will sit in second. David Gainforth in third. Dean Vining fourth. Gary Shank in fifth. Paul Zota is also tied for fifth due to bonus points. Micah Palmer in seventh. Paul Cohen in eighth. Jim Locking ninth. Shane McCurry in 10th. John Estes in 11th. Shane Gross also tied for 11th. He had a couple laps led last week. Dwayne LaPrade in 13th, Timothy Keller 14th, and John Stanley in 15th. And we're going to grid. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid for tonight. Dean Vining will get the pole tonight with a 50.027. Mark McFadden comes in second. Dwayne LaPrade in third tonight. Lynn McNeese fourth. Jim Locking fifth. Michael Palmer sixth. Randy Prude will start in seventh. Shane Gross will start in eighth. David Gainforth in 9th tonight. Paul Zota in 10th. John Estes 11th. Stephen Bird will start in 12th. Kevin Cornelius will start in 13th. John Stanley will start in 14th. And Timothy Keller, if he takes the track tonight, will start at the back of the pack in 15th. Should be a great race, and I know that 48 truck, Mark McFadden, is an experienced plate track driver, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him near the front of the pack at the end of this race. And I imagine Dean Vining's got to be pretty excited to be at the front of the pack to start the race. Dean is the owner of GAC, great guy, and he's definitely going to push that truck to the limits tonight. So we're still waiting for one truck to grid up, and there it goes. So we should be taking our pace lap any moment now. All 15 trucks are on the track tonight. Pace car will pull him out of pit road. And from my experience with these guys here at GAC, I wouldn't be surprised if we see these guys kind of fall in line and try to outdrive, I mean, not necessarily outdrive, but try to be as patient as they can to not cause a huge wreck and not take themselves out of the race. I know this is definitely one track you do not want to race under caution the whole time because it is a long ways around. Pace cars dipping off. Dean Vining will bring him to the line. Green flag is out, and we're green at the GAC Daytona 85. And Mark Fadden right away goes to the lead. Doesn't look like he's able to hold off the charge from Dean Vining and the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade, as Mark McFadden and the 84 of Lynn McNeese don't have any help up there right now. And Dean Vining is just going to drive it into first for the moment. As I imagine we'll see the 84 of Lynn McNeese try to get to the inside as the 5 of Randy Prude now gets by him. And we've got the 84 down on the apron. That was Mark McFadden. And while we're still green, let's go ahead and take a look back to see what happened here. As Mark McFadden and Jim Locking were both involved. Jim, I think, thought he was clear on the top side, went to go high, and Mark McFadden lost control of it, took Jim down to the inside line, and we're staying green, but Mark's got a blown engine. Let's go back out front with Dean Viney, who's now got Dwayne LaPrade and Randy Prude behind him, with Lynn McNeese behind them, and rounding out your top 5 is the 101 of David Gainforth. And we're already 2 laps in, and we've had an exciting race. As who I picked to be the driver to watch was involved in a wreck on lap number 1. As they're going single file all the way back almost. And this is kind of the racing I thought we would see, guys kind of trying to settle in and pick their spots and gain some positions without putting much damage on the truck tonight. And Dean Viney up front has got to be proud that he was not involved in that. As pretty much the whole pack, other than those 2 who are involved in the wreck, are still together. We do have the 4 of Timothy Keller and the 12 of John Stanley ways back, but everybody else is still together. As we're starting to get some runs on the outside, and the 17 of Kevin Cornelius is making a run with the 99 of Paul Zoda now, and Kevin will take the lead. That was a pretty surprising run by that outside. Now let's see if Kevin will be scored as the leader this lap, so that'll be the first lap not led by Dean Viney. And Paul Zoda will be scored in 3rd place. And our top 5 at this moment is Dean Viney will take the lead again. Kevin Cornelius, I believe, has dropped to 3rd. But let's see if they can get a run off of 2. And it does look like they're getting that run, as Kevin was back up front with Dean Viney. And Paul Zoda is just trying to follow Kevin to the front. You can see the 13 wiggling every corner. It looks like 13 is getting a little impatient. Lap traffic goes to the top as the 48 of Mark McFadden is put 3 laps down now. Or excuse me, 2 laps down. And how long can that top line hold on? As we saw early in the race, Lynn McNeese dropped to that inside line, but he hops back out to the outside now. Dean Viney back out front though, has now led 4 of the 5 laps. As your top 5 trucks at this moment, order may change a little bit as we're saying this. Dean Viney, Dwayne LaPrade, Kevin Cornelius, Paul Zoda, and the 5 of Randy Prude. And the 72 of John Estes is trying to mix in now, as that outside line seems to be dropping off pretty dramatically, as those guys had a great run for a while in that top line, but able to hold off on the second car, the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade, who seems to be looking to make his move to get around Dean. As that outside line is still able to hold on. Kevin Cornelius scored his third and is actually in second for the moment. Will they get the runoff off on turn 2 to take the lead as they were pushing that bottom line down as much as they could? And Dean Viney still scored as the leader. As you can see, Kevin Cornelius is trying to go down as far as he can and pick up that side draft to stay up with Dean Viney. And I believe Kevin will be in second come the start-finish line. Actually, Kevin just scored as the leader for the moment. Dean Viney moves back to second. Paul Zoda in third. And just like that, they switch back. Dean Viney in first. Kevin Cornelius second. Dwayne LaPrade third. Back and forth these two lines go. As we're now coming to lap number 10. The green all the way. Does Kevin get scored as the leader? He does get scored as the leader of that lap. Leads his second lap, stealing was also his second lap from Dean Viney, who's led the rest of the way. And Dean will move back into first for the moment, as Kevin was looking to drop back to third. Gets a little bit of a runoff and will remain in third. Actually moves up to second with Paul Zoda moving into fourth. As we're starting to see some separation between the rest of the pack and the front pack. The last car in the front pack is the 72 of John Estes. And it looks like the rest of the cars are spread out, lost without draft. So these guys are kind of hoping for a caution to catch up to the pack and get a fresh restart. And Kevin and Paul move up to first and second. We got lap traffic coming up. Not sure who it is. 91 of Jim Locking. And it looks like that was just enough to bump Kevin back to second and Paul back to fourth. And now Kevin will go back to the lead. Been a great battle between Kevin Cornelius and Dean Viney, as these two guys are back and forth right now, and that top line has been holding on pretty well. I honestly didn't think we'd see that top line hold on as well as they are, but back and forth they go. Will Kevin get the lap leg this time? Doesn't look like it. As he's back in third, he will be scored as third, and Dwayne LaPrade will move up into second. As they're starting to get some more help on that outside, and you can see the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade look to the outside for the moment. Does he jump out there? And he decides too late there, as the 17 of Kevin Cornelius does approach him and doesn't have any room to come up. And I'm trying to see the last car in this, I believe is the 41 Shane Gross. So this front pack consists of the 71 of Dean Viney, 17 of Kevin Cornelius, 13 of Dwayne LaPrade, 99 of Paul Zoda, 5 of Randy Krug, 84 of Lenny McNeese, 72 of John Estes, 41 of Shane Gross, and the 101 of David Gainforth. And Kevin Cornelius does take over the lead, but doesn't have it enough to get around Dean Viney and get in front of him. Laps into this race, and Dean Viney has now led 11 laps, with the only other leader, or excuse me, Mark McFadden led 1 lap. Oh, he did not lead the lap. Our only other leader being Kevin Cornelius, who had 3. At the rate this is going, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a caution here tonight, as Kevin Cornelius goes into first for the moment, moves back into second, and is back in second, and Dwayne LaPrade has moved back into third. And I know that outside line is hoping somebody else can catch up to them and get to that top line. Because if they can get the third person up there, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kevin Cornelius up in front for a while. As it seems like that high line is able to beat the low line, which is surprising because I know the past couple of builds they've had an issue with the high line and not being able to necessarily compete on that top line. Now let's see if Kevin and Paul have what it takes to. Kevin has enough to drop to the bottom, doesn't leave Paul on the outside alone, so he actually checks up Paul, and the 5 now has pulled behind that pack of 3, and Lynn McNeese is now trying to catch the bottom line. So that checkup almost helped out everybody in that pack to kind of bunch up and pick a line. And I know Paul Zoda is going to be kind of kicking himself because he had a great run going into that corner. And then the 17 checked up a little bit and slowed him up. It looked like he was went a little bit higher than the 17 to avoid wrecking into him. As now the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade is going to probably fall back into third. As the 17 of Kevin Cornelius actually goes to the lead and will lead another lap. Cornelius does lead the lap, and now he's trying to pull Paul Zoda with him. And the 5 of Randy Prude is hooked on right behind them. And now Randy Prude's going to jump in front of the 84 of Lynn McNeese. Oh, we got looked like a little bit of net code there, as Paul Zoda took some phantom damage from the 13, and that is going to hurt the 17 of Kevin Cornelius. As Paul Zoda does hook back on to the back of the 72 of John Estes. As they're getting ready to pass the 12 of John Stanley, putting him 1 lap down. Dean Viney now has led 15 laps tonight. As we come to lap number 20. have some trucks starting to take pit stops. Or did Timothy Keller go off the track? Because Timothy Keller is shown as not on the track and isn't being shown as pitting. Mark McFadden actually passes him now. So I'm not sure if Timothy Keller fell through or if he decided to take it behind the wall tonight. As Dean Viney's still up front, and it looks like the 101 and 84 have gone to that top line, and they're going to try what the 17 of Kevin Cornelius did earlier and try to get a run on that outside and get ahead of these guys. Actually, David Gainforth up to third, and the 84 Lynn McNeese up to fifth. And I wouldn't at all be surprised to see that top line form up again, and the 17 of Kevin Cornelius is going to that high line, and he's going to try to hook on with those guys and get to follow them to the front. Here we go. This should be David Gainforth's time any moment now, as he's neck and neck with the 71 of Dean Viney. Goes into the corner, loses a bunch of speed as the 84 was going to the bottom. They're going to all pass the 99 of Paul Zota, who's involved in that little bit of net code earlier and lost all of the momentum he had. As we've now got 10 trucks still on the lead lap. Dean Viney, though, still out front leading this race, and he is pushing that truck to the limits tonight. Able to lead 19 laps. So he's pretty much led the whole race tonight. Kevin Cornelius was able to steal 4 laps, but nobody else has led a lap tonight. And those guys battled out for a while. The high line was beating them every couple of laps, but it definitely seemed like that low line was the place to be. The 13 got a little loose, went down onto the apron, and so did the 17 of Kevin Cornelius. Now these front two are starting to get a little bit of separation, and the rest of the trucks should be cycling up to them any time now. But the front two separated by 0.2 seconds. Pretty impressive at a super speedway. But they are catching up real quick. And Paul Zota did hook on to the back of that pack. And what happened to the 13? Because he lost a ton of speed, leaving the 5. Actually, Randy Prude will take the lead. Not scored as the leader yet. But it is 5 against 2. 5 on the high line, 2 on the bottom line. And we're going to see a new leader at the end of this lap. As now Randy Prude will go to the lead and drops in front of Dean Viney. And now you got the 101 outside trying to battle Randy Prude to try to get the lead. That Mr. Bubbles machine does want to get a win tonight. And that's why we saw Dean Viney go to the bottom line. Dean Viney, actually Randy Prude's going to come to pit road, and so is the 13 of Dwayne LaPratt. The 72 of John Estes is going to follow. David Gainforth is our leader. We still only have one truck out of the race, the Ford of Timothy Keller. 101 of David Gainforth, though, is now getting some laps led. When will these guys come to pit road, though? As we see the 17 of Kevin Cornelius dropping off and going into pit road. Paul Zoda is trying to hook on to the back of him and get some speed, get his lap back. As he's on the outside, though, he doesn't have any draft with him. Able to keep up with the 84 at the moment. As I'm not sure if Paul went high there to try to make a pass, or these guys are communicating with him and said they're going to the pits. We will see. Because Paul is still high. So I imagine these guys have told him they're going to pit this time around. As we're seeing the 84 and the 101 come down pit road. Paul Zoda will be back on the lead lap. Who is our leader? I believe it's Kevin Cornelius. If he can get around the track before they come out of pit road, Kevin Cornelius will be our leader. And this is where things will get interesting. You'll have a couple packs here and there, and if those packs can catch up to the front, then we'll have some more interesting racing. And I believe actually Lynn McNeese is back on the track. We got the 101 of David Gainforth down low. And Kevin Cornelius is going to pass both of them and be our leader. 21 laps led by Dean Viney. 3 by David Gainforth and 4 by Kevin Cornelius. So Kevin will be our leader as we come to lap number 30 of 85. And with that, we're going to step away really quick here, do a quick commercial break, and come back to this green flag racing.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
As we're back now, we're watching this battle back here with Randy LaPrude and Dwayne LaPrade as they are going to blow by Kevin Cornelius. And Randy LaPrude is going to lead a lap tonight. This will be his first lap led. And this is an interesting back here. We got Dean Viney on the outside with Paul Zoda. Paul Zoda is back on the lead lap and scored his 4th place, so Paul is back in the mix. He's got to get around the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade again. And this is definitely where the action is going to be at right now, top 4. And the 17 of Kevin Cornelius is back with the 84 of Lynn McNeese battling for 5th. As we're going to see Dean Viney go back to the lead, but should be overtaken by Randy Prude, and he is. And we saw the 17 catch up to the 13, so we got 2 on the top, 4 on the bottom. They're trying to hook on with that lap. Traffic doesn't quite get it. And we're back to 12 cars on the, we're back to, we only have 9 on the lead lap now. But we do have Paul Zota back on the lead lap. He battled back from that wreck and going a lap down, was able to get his lap back and stay out past these guys. I believe when he took the wreck earlier, he went in and got his fuel then. But with no help on that high side, how long can they hang on? We're going to see the, I believe that is, I believe that's 41. It's showing 14. It was 14. Stephen Bird. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Stephen Bird go to the high side and try to push those guys up high. As now Dean Viney is doing exactly what happened to him earlier in the race with Kevin Cornelius. He is sticking to that high side and doing everything he can with it. I believe he has scored the leader of that lap. He is. Dean Viney now back in the lead for the moment. Gives it back up to Randy Prude though. As now we see the 101 of David Gainforth trying to make a move on that high side, catching Paul Zota. We're going to get 2 more trucks on this high side if they can catch up. And now Lynn McNeese peeks to the outside, doesn't exactly take it, as he sees the bottom line start to get a run, but Dean Viney will get another lap led. Now up to 23 laps led, and we got the 50 to go. Randy Prude is about a car length ahead at the moment. And you can see that 13 is just itching to get to the outside and make a pass. He has been running second, or behind the leader almost the whole entire race. Earlier he was behind Dean Viney before taking his pit stop, and now after his pit stop, he's behind Randy Prude. As we have been green all the way here, folks. It's been a great race out here tonight, and I wouldn't imagine anything different as we come to the halfway point. We're not even close to the halfway point yet, but about 7 laps out. But they got a great run on that high side. Coming out of turn 2, Dean Viney and Paul Zota pushed ahead of Randy Prude, but going into the corner, Randy Prude had more speed, and Dean Viney is going to drop back to 3rd now. And Kevin Cornelius is on that bottom line. He's going to try to battle now to get back by Dean Viney. We saw it earlier in this race, and we're starting to see it again. Back and forth they go on that top and bottom line. As the 17 has kind of fallen off a little bit. I don't know if he let off to avoid going to the back of 13, but we saw a gap open up in that turn, and he's able to catch right back up, and the 13 is still looking to get to the outside and past the 5 of Randy Prude. got a pretty good distance on the backstretch there. Let's see, though, if they can hold on, and we'll see if the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade does go to the outside. Yeah, they're going to come up on some lap traffic. I believe that's a 48 of Mark McFadden they're working on. And there's actually 3 of them there. Not sure who is with Mark. It may be... I'm not sure who is all with them. But it is 3 against about 8. I believe Jim Lockton is up there with them. And we'll see if we'll go 3 wide if they start making the pass here in the corner. I believe that's the 41. That is the 41 of Shane Gross, who is on the lead lap at the moment, but in danger of losing it. As you see, those top line guys look like they are going to try to get the draft, and then they're going to bunch down and go 3 wide in the corner. No incidents there. So now Dean Viney is scored as the leader. That last lap has led 25 laps now, and Randy Prude has 6. As the front 6 now, who are all together, is Randy Prude, Dean Viney, Dwayne LaPrade, Paul Zota, Kevin Cornelius, Lynn McNeese, David Gameforth has dropped off. So we have 6 trucks still in the running trying to get to the front. We still do have 1 more pit stop, so we'll see how long these guys can hold on. As we do know Paul Zota's on a different pit cycle, so I imagine we'll see Paul Zota coming into the pits roughly, I'd say 15 to 20 laps, and then we'll see the rest of these guys coming in shortly after him. As Randy Prude will hold off Dean Viney this for at least the corner. We'll see if he can hold him off for the front stretch. And it's going to be close. But it does look like Randy Prude will get the lap led that time round. Give him 8 now as we got 42 to go. 43 down, 42 to go. We're halfway in this race. As the top line got a pretty good run. Went off that corner, we got more trucks mixing in, some more lap trucks. I believe the 91, the 41, and the 48 of Mark McFadden all mixing into this pack. We've got lap cars mixed throughout here with the lead lap cars, or lead lap trucks. As Randy does lead this lap once again, and there is no help behind them, so we'll see what happens here, because I imagine we'll see the 17 suck up to the 13 pretty quickly with 4 or 5 trucks behind him. Now we're starting to see a line form on that top side. They've got 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom. 2 not too far behind that bottom line. So So we're going to start to figure out quickly if that top one can hold on. Paul Zota got a little bit close there to the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade. 14 of Stephen Bird, though, is hooking on with these guys. He may be one lap down, but he is trying to get all the positions he can. And if there's a caution, he'll be the lucky dog. As Dean Viney will move into first, drops to the bottom. Paul Zota doesn't have quite the run to get around Randy Prude, and Dean Viney back in the lead tonight, and now Paul Zota is going to battle him up there. And 13 went on the apron and checked up a lot of people, and Paul Zota will move to the bottom line. I'll go back front with Dean Viney, who's battling Randy Prude. There's nobody on that high side, so Randy can't go on that outside and make the pass. And let me see if I can check to see when Paul Zota did pit. He didn't pit at the same time as a lot of these guys, and he got his a lap back in the process. And I have him pitting on lap 21, and our leader pitted on lap 26. So Paul is going to be pitting. Let's see here. Nope, we're seeing Paul actually come to pit road right now. And I imagine we'll see most of the pack come down pit road on lap 52. They're on lap 58 at the moment, so we got about 4 more laps to race before these guys take it to the pits. For the moment, Dean Viney has found himself back up front. He qualified on the pole tonight and has able to stay up front for most of the race, leading 29 of the 48 laps tonight. And still a caution-free race. And the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade does find himself back in second, with Randy Prude now in third, and Kevin Cornelius back in fourth. Lynn McNeese will round out your top 5 for the moment. Dean Viney still up front. We're going to be seeing him come to pit road within the next 2 laps, if not sooner. As we're on lap 50 of 85 now. And there's Paul Zota once again, who came off pit road with nobody with him. But when we see these guys come to pit road, he'll gain back a ton of time and should hook right. And we lost the field for the moment. Oh, they are coming back now. Dean Viney still up there. Not sure what happened to Paul Zota. Let's take a look to see how far he fell back. He's probably going to hook up with the back of this line, get as much draft as he can, and when these guys bring it down pit road, he will be in pretty good shape. As we'll go back out front with Dean Viney. And will they be coming down pit road this time? They won't. It doesn't look like anybody came down pit road. And if Dean stretches it the same amount of laps he did last time, he should be coming down pit road this time or next time. I believe it'll be next time if he comes down the same time. Depending on, yeah, he should come down next time if he takes the same amount of laps as he pitted on lap 26 last time. Oh, he will come down this time. This is lap 52, so that would make sense. Does he? Ow! Loses control of it. Does he get the black flag for speeding, though? We'll definitely have to keep an eye on him to see if Dean Viney will have to come back down pit road. Kevin Cornelius scored as your leader, with Lynn McNeese in second and David Gainforth in third. Shouldn't be much longer before we see these guys come down pit road. As Dwayne LaPrade does look like to be the first truck out of that front pack that went into the pits to come out of the pits. And see Randy Krugjohn coming out of the pits. Should see a couple more of those guys. And Paul Zoda is still one lap down, I believe. But he is ahead of Randy Prude. Paul Zoda now in seventh. They're coming up on the rest of the field. Dean Viney, who came in a little bit hot on that last pit stop, and the 14 of Stephen Bird. Paul Zoda is doing just what he wanted to, though. He's hooking up with some of these trucks who have yet to go in and trying to get as much draft as he can off of them to catch up to the leaders and get his lap back. And now we're seeing the 17 of Kevin Cornelius coming down pit road. Lynn McNeese will now lead his first laps tonight. Thanks for stopping by, Rudy. It's always great to see you in the chat. Thanks for checking out the stream, man. Lynn McNeese now goes to the lead. David Gainforth in second. Paul Zoda still battling to get his lap back and get on the lead lap. These two guys next to him, though, have yet to pit, so he will be back on the lead lap eventually. And should be back up with Kevin Cornelius, who is just not coming off pit road, and Dwayne LaPrade. And we will see the front two coming to pit road. Lynn McNeese gets one lap led. David Gainforth has 3 at the moment. And we didn't see Dean Viney coming back down pit road, so it doesn't look like he got that speeding penalty. And I believe our leader will be Kevin Cornelius after he gets around the track, if he's not passed up. If Kevin can get around the track before these guys come out of pit road, and it does look like the 101 of David Gainforth is coming back out of pit road, will they have enough speed to stay ahead of the 17 who has hooked up with the 31, who is 2 laps down in 11th? Seeing Kevin Cornelius is still 5 seconds back, so maybe these guys did take the right strategy, as we're seeing actually Lynn McNeese has got nobody to draft with, so he is losing time. go back to the 101 to see what's going on with David Gainsworth, winning about the same time, and he has no draft. So I imagine we'll see, yep, there's Kevin Cornelius getting ready to make the pass. And he's going to actually hook up with the 101. Does he feel like getting around him? As they're going to be coming up quick on the 84 of Lynn McNeese. As Lynn has now led 3 laps tonight, and this is actually the first time tonight we're seeing him lead some laps, so he's hitting it at the right time. We talked last week about how it was great to see him finally get a win after pushing up front a bunch of times, but never having it at the end. We're on 27 to go, 58 laps down of the 85 laps tonight, and we still don't have any cautions. And Lynn McNeese leading this race with the 101 of David Gainsworth in second, the 17 of Kevin Cornelius in third. Paul Zota scored as fourth. Dwayne LaPrade scored as fifth. We saw Kevin Cornelius go under the yellow line there. Quickly got back up, no incidents caused. And there he goes again. I'm not sure what is going on, if he's trying to get a peek to see what's in front of him. He's got the 31 behind him. Does he try to make a run to the outside that he was doing to Dean Viney pretty well? And it looked like the 101 was thinking about it also. And the 101 is actually going to try, I don't know what the 101 is doing. He was swerving there. Looked like he was going to try to go under the 84 and was looking to the outside at the same time. And we're going to take our last break of the night, pending another caution, or any cautions for that fact. So we'll take a quick break here and come back right after this.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
And I don't know what the odds of that were, but we went to commercial and we almost had our first caution of the night as Paul Zota and the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade were on a pretty good run, got past the leaders. Both went to the bottom line, And Dwayne LaPrade all of a sudden went a little bit too far down onto the apron in the corner, lost control of it, was able to keep it down low, and we remained green, but it checked up a pretty good amount of the field. No, everybody was able to get out of his way. But now we have Paul Zota up front with Lynn McNeese in second. And these are Paul's first laps led tonight. As we have 22 to go. We have 8 cars still on the lead lap. They are spread throughout the field though, so I imagine we'll get a couple more laps before the end of the night. Our top 5 as it sits right now, Paul Zota is your leader. Lynn McNeese in second. David Gainforth in third. Kevin Cornelius fourth. Dean Viney in fifth. But Dean Viney is 6.1 seconds behind. But he is gaining time, so maybe he's got his lap partner with him. Let's take a look back. He does got a pack with Mark McFadden, Stephen Bird, and John Estes, along with the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that pack catch up to the main pack. But for now, Paul Zota is the leader. And I think we might see one more pit stop. I don't think they have enough fuel to make it to the end. As the last stops are on 52. These guys may be a few laps short if they didn't push it. But for now, we are seeing Paul Zota's pit strategy work out pretty well for him. We see him go in a little bit earlier than these guys, get his fuel, and get back out on the track. Usually goes down 1 lap, and then able to get his lap back. And before we know it, after all the pit stops, he is near the front again. So he's doing just what he needs to catch some draft and get up the field as quick as he can coming out of the pits. As they are passing the 41 of Shane Gross, who I believe is 1 lap down now. I believe he's 1 lap down. He's been with this pack for a while now. Looks like he's trying to get his lap back. It doesn't look like he's going to get any help, though. He is on that high side alone for the moment. I'm pretty surprised, though, he's able to hold on without any draft up there, as he's still up with Lynn McNeese. And that backpack is starting to catch him. We see the pack that Dean Viney is in is now only 1.1 seconds behind. So it'll definitely make for a nice shootout, as we're going to see Dean Viney mix in now. And Viney will move up to 4th and up to 3rd. He's got a run going with the 48 of Mark McFadden, who we said before the race was a driver to watch. He's pretty good at this at the plate restrictor plate racing, and he just showed us right there why we say that. He was able to weave his way through a lapped car, who I believe is a lap, or no, he is not a position for him. Mark McFadden is 3 laps down, but was able to get out in front. He makes up a lap for the moment and should be scored 2 laps down. As Dean Viney now moves into 2nd. And it does score Mark McFadden as 2 laps down. That lap, Dean Viney drops to the bottom, is now going to give Paul Zota some pressure. back that Mark McFadden had gained there, but he's still up here with these guys, so he has a chance to go back to 2 laps down. And if anybody else manages to get lapped, Michael Palmer, I'm not sure if he's with this pack. Let's take a look really quick. Michael Palmer is at the back of this pack, so I don't think we'll see Mark McFadden get another lap. Zota will lead them to 14 to go. They've put down 71 laps. Paul Zota has led 11. Dean Viney now has led 35. Let's go ahead and take a run through the field while we have a chance. I believe these guys are going to take one more pit stop before this race is over. Paul Zota started 10th tonight, has now led 11 laps, and has currently scored his first. Dean Viney started on the pole tonight, led 33 laps. Didn't look like anybody was going to be able to beat him tonight, and he is currently running second. Glenn McNeese started 4th, led 6 laps, and has currently scored his third. Dwayne LaPrade started 3rd and currently sits in 4th. David Gainforth started 9th, led 3 laps, and currently sits in 5th. Kevin Cornelius led 13 laps. Started 13th, led 8 laps, currently sits in 6th. Did battle with Dean Viney at the front for a while. John Estes started 11th, currently sits 7th. Shane Gross will be our first truck a lap down, as I believe we just saw Dean Viney take the lead. Shane Gross started 8th, currently sits in 10th. Randy Prude started 7th, led 10 laps earlier today, currently sits in 8th. He is trying to get his lap back. Or get a lap back. Stephen Bird is 1 lap down as well. Started 12th, currently sits in 9th. Shane Gross is 1 lap down, started in 8th, currently sits 10th. Michael Palmer is 2 laps down, started 6th, currently sits 11th. Mark McFadden is 3 laps down, started 2nd, currently sits 12th. John Stanley is 4 laps down, started 14th, currently sits 13th. Jim Locking is 4 laps down, started 5th, currently sits 14th, and he will be our last truck on the track tonight. As now we got Dean Viney coming down pit road with Paul Zota. This will make things interesting. With 12 laps to go, these guys go to the pits. I think these guys are going to start realizing they don't have enough fuel to finish this race tonight. Let's go back out front with Lynn McNeese, who is scored as the leader for the moment. And Lynn McNeese has got Dwayne LaPrade behind him and David Gainforth in 3rd. Paul Zota is still scored as 5th. Kevin Cornelius is now scored as 3rd, with the 101 of David Gainforth scored as 4th. Nobody comes down pit road. Lynn McNeese is still leading this race and still not coming down pit road, which is very surprising. We're on 10 to go. Do these guys realize? I don't think they are looking at their fuel, as we might see some late pit stops, and it may ruin the race for some of these guys. Paul Zoda is still on the lead lap. He's 42 seconds back, though, in danger of getting lapped. Dean Viney is actually behind him now, as we're on 9 to go. And they're still not coming down pit road. These guys must be hoping for a caution to win this thing with 8 to go now. Lynn McNeese still out front. Dwayne LaPrade able to make up a little mishap earlier in the race. Sits in second. David Gainforth sits in third. And we still have 9 trucks on the lead lap. On the lead lap, you have Lynn McNeese, Dwayne LaPrade, David Gainforth, Kevin Cornelius, Paul Zoda, Dean Viney, John Estes, Randy Prude, Stephen Bird, and Shane Gross. And just now will gain a lap and get back on the lead lap. So we got 10 trucks on the lead lap. Lynn McNeese still electing to stay out as we're now on 7 to go. And Lynn McNeese, will he stay out? Does he have enough fuel? And we're seeing a couple more trucks dive off into pit road. I believe that was the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade. Yes, the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade did go into pit road. So we'll see if the leader elects to stay out a little while longer on 6 laps to go. As now we're seeing the lead lap trucks getting ready to pass up Mark McFadden. Now we see the 41 of Shane Gross going to pit road. 5 laps to go. Lynn McNeese is your leader. David Gainforth second. Kevin Cornelius in third. Kevin Cornelius is on that high side with the 12 of John Stanley and the 48 of Mark McFadden. Go 3 wide with John Stanley on the outside, Mark McFadden on the inside. And it kind of loses the draft for the 17 of Kevin Cornelius, who was working on second place. So now we'll come to 4 laps to go. Back and forth, Kevin Cornelius and the 101 of David Gainforth go, battling for that second position. And right now, Kevin's got the second position. Does he have enough with that outside line to get past Lynn McNeese, though? As you see, Mark McFadden in the 48 dropping down below. It's going to lose a little bit of speed for that high side. And we see another truck dip into pit road. 4 to go. Coming to 3 to go. 3 to go, and Kevin Cornelius now will drop back to the inside. Our top 3 are all together. Dwayne LaPrade and Paul Zoda round out the top 5. do the top three have enough to get to the finish? As they're coming to 2 to go. And now Lynn McNeese got that draft on the 48 of Mark McFadden, which is going to help him save a little bit of fuel here. Two to go, and the 101 of David Gameforth is now going to go to the inside. The 84 of Len McNeese goes high. Is he going to the pits with 2 to go? No, he's electing to stay out. I'm not sure why Len McNeese went high there and gave up the bottom line to the 101. Is he running out of fuel and trying to save it for the end of the race? 1 lap to go. And this will be an interesting finish here. Do they have enough to finish the race tonight? And I think the 84 looked like he was running out of fuel. Did he run out of fuel? As he went to that bottom line pretty slow and actually he has run out of fuel. Is that going to give up third to actually Paul Zota? Let's see if Paul Zota can get around the track fast enough. He's got the draft. Does he have what it takes to get around? Oh, he is out on the back stretch. I don't think he is. I think Kevin Cornelius actually did. Lynn McNeese and Kevin Cornelius run out of fuel. As Lynn McNeese did finish the race tonight. But our winner tonight is David Gameforth in the 101. Let's look to see if David, I believe David's out of fuel as well. So we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to get back to the interviews.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
All right, we're back with our third place finisher tonight. Kevin Cornelius, do you have a copy?
Yeah, 10-4 got you, Steve.
All right, how was the truck out there tonight?
It's Daytona. It's always good, isn't it?
Now, something I did see that I don't know if iRacing did a change to the tire model. They changed how something worked, but I saw a lot of two lane racing. In the past, we've seen that Highline kind of die off quickly. How was the Highline for you tonight?
Yeah, it seemed like you could get up and you could get a push to the front, but you hang the guy that was pushing you out. So it was up to you to make the decision to leave him behind or not. But it seemed to work good. It's just one of those things. It's Daytona, right? You need the draft to help you.
Now, we did see, I believe it was all the top three all kind of gambled on their pit strategy. When did you run out of fuel on that last lap?
On the back stretch, actually, I ran out. I was just a bit short there.
Yeah, I believe we saw Lynn McNeese run out about the same time, and David Gainforth ran out just after he crossed the finish line. But you guys pushed it just enough to stay out in front of Paul Zoda, who was trying to make a late race charge there. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
No, yeah, Dean Viney and all the guys at GAC. This is a great league. If anybody's looking for a league to get hooked up with and run a bunch of green flag laps with a bunch of great guys, you got to check out GAC. These guys run a pretty good show over here.
All right, congrats once again on your third place finish. Do we plan on seeing you next week?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been off for a couple of 3 months here in the summer with my own actual racing, asphalt racing. So that's sort of kind of winding down a bit. So we'll definitely make a return here to GAC on a regular basis.
All right, well, go ahead and celebrate your third place finish tonight. Hopefully, we see you back in the top three and hopefully in victory lane next week.
Great, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Lynn McNeese, you got a copy.
I got you.
All right, we talked to you last week when you won that race. You come in second tonight, and you pushed the truck just as hard as our first place finisher and our third place finisher. How was the truck out there tonight, though?
Well, run out of fuel right there at the end. It was good, but it was trying to stretch the fuel, and I couldn't get enough draft there toward the end, and needed that extra half a lap of fuel to really give Dave a run.
Well, I got to imagine a first place win or a win last week and a second place this week has got to be feeling pretty good for you.
Oh, I'm glad to finish it. After that, it was Daytona. You never know what's going to happen with these races. I was surprised we run it caution free, and that was really a good race to run caution free.
Now, opposed to some of the other drivers, we saw you kind of stick it to the bottom line. What did you think of the top line tonight? Did you like it at all, or did you just prefer the bottom line tonight?
If you could get about 3 trucks together on the top line, it would work. But if it's just 2 of them, it wasn't working as well to try to get by. So I was figuring early if we could just save some fuel and see if we could make it stretch it out a little further. And Dave and I worked together there, trying to calculate it and doing our pit stops at the same time to try to be together for us. So he was good on being a draft partner with me tonight.
All right. Well, is there? Actually, before I ask you if there's anybody you'd like to thank, we got Gateway next week. Do you plan to be out there?
Oh, definitely. Gateway will be a challenging track. That's really going to be interesting there. That's a hard track to get around at times. All
right. Well, is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Hey, I appreciate you, Stephen, up there in the booth out there broadcasting it for us, and Dean for putting it on here at GAC, and all the people behind the scenes that help to keep this thing up and running.
All right, hopefully we see you next week back in victory lane, but you got to be happy about tonight. Go ahead and celebrate, and hopefully we talk to you again.
All right, I appreciate it.
David Gainforth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
All right, well, you pushed it to the very last drop tonight. I believe you ran out of fuel just after crossing the finish line?
Yeah, I had 0.1 gallons left as I went across the finish line there.
All right, well, you pushed it just enough tonight to get the win. How does it feel?
Oh, I'm pretty excited, actually. I haven't won in a long time here, so, here at Southern, any league, actually, for a year or so. So I'll take a win anytime I can get it.
All right, well, now we did kind of see you near, I think you were back in 5th for a lot of the race. And then at that end, you just kind of made a charge towards the front, took the same gamble that Kevin Cornelius and Lynn McNeese took. What were you thinking going into those final laps?
Oh, I had my fuel window up the whole time, and I was just following Len and just counting down the laps on my fingers here as we went, and kept watching the fuel gauge. And when Len pulled high there, I knew I had 1 lap of extra fuel, so I just went for it and was able to pull away for the win.
All right. Well, we do get you in victory lane tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank Dean at GAC for putting this on, and yourself up there in the booth, and Arctic Broadcasting for doing a great job on broadcasting these races, and just everybody that's watching and everybody that comes out to race every week. It's a fun week. It's a fun race.
All right. And next week we're out at Gateway. Do we expect to see you?
Oh, I'll be there. I don't like it, that place, but yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, I know it's a tough track in any kind of stock car or the stock trucks. So, well, go ahead and celebrate your win tonight. You led 5 laps, but most importantly, you led that last lap. So go ahead and celebrate, and we hope to see you next week.
Yeah, I'll be there, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, well, let's do a rundown of our results tonight. David Gainforth does come home with a win in that Mr. Bubbles machine, and a great win for him. Kevin Cornelius finishes 2nd tonight. Lynn McNeese in 3rd. Dean Viney 4th. Dwayne LaPrade finishes 5th. Paul Zoda 6th. John Estes 7th. Randy Prude will finish 1 lap down in 8th. Shane Gross 1 lap down in 9th. Stephen Bird will round out your top 10 2 laps down. And we just hit the wrong button. Michael Palmer will finish in 11th. Mark McFadden will finish 3 laps down in 12th. John Stanley will finish 4 laps down in 13th. Jim Locking 4 laps down in 14th. And Timothy Keller will finish 67 laps down in 15th. So with that, I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by and checking out the race tonight. Thank you everybody who stopped by on Beam, on Twitch, and on YouTube. And as always, have a great night.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.